Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is July 24th, 2026, and this is my weekly market review where I'm reviewing the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, that's SPY, on a quarterly chart, monthly chart, weekly chart, and a daily chart. This is all for educational purposes only, no trade recommendation, because as we all know, trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor, please check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. Wow. All right, let's jump over here to these charts and see what we see this week on the SPY. I am going to maximize this quarterly chart and go to first time full screen and all. What I see is a doji on this quarterly chart at a resistance, yearly resistance one, and still hanging out pretty close to the top. So not too bad here on the SPY compared to the Nasdaq, So everything doesn't look that bad yet, but still be careful, be careful, be careful. They can pull that rug out anytime they want to. All right, let's go down to our monthly chart and see what we see there. And on this monthly chart, again, we got this pattern up here. We're still above the 9-10 moving average, so we are still technically in a bull market. But at this time, we got a lower high, but not a lower low. We're still trading inside of this green candle right here. That's why, again, I say on the SPY, things don't look that bad at this time. We are on these quarterly pivots. This is just the first month of the quarter. We are still above pivot and all. And as long as we stay above pivot, look like we'll stay in a bull market. But this thing can slip all the way down to pivot and maybe give us a pretty good bounce. Because, again, that's about where this candle here broke out at, and all the close of where this candle broke out at, and things would be still kind of okay. Again, pay attention to your trading plan and your trading strategy and trade accordingly. But that's what I see here on this monthly chart at this time. All right, let's go down to our weekly chart and see what we see there. Let me go down. On this weekly chart, what we see is chop, 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 chop. What I'm looking at is all this chop up here. This market is not going anywhere. That's why I'm saying the SPY is actually trading in a tighter range than the Nasdaq is and all. And it doesn't really look that bad. That's why, again, it's just based on your trading plan, your trading strategy, do what you need to do. Me personally, no trade recommendation. I just like selling call spreads above this stuff that's happening right now, and all seem like that's the thing to do. And all for me, based on my trading plan and my trading strategy, because I do see a little bit of a down channel to actually happening here, and I see that we might end up getting a little support around this 730 number and all. So we have to kind of like wait and see what actually happens here and all. So be careful, be careful. All I can say is just be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, let's go down to our daily chart and see what we see there. On this daily noise, what we see here is the details of all that, what we saw happening over there. And like I said, here's that, you can see that little downward channel a little bit better here and all. You can see that we haven't been able to break the top, so we're getting these lower highs, but we haven't broken this low. I haven't even broken this doji low right here. So again, things don't look that bad yet and all. But the thing is, we did end up at a support 1 level. Look like we will be opening below our weekly pivot come next week. But again, as you can see, these pivots are pretty tight and all. So I'm looking at us having maybe a little support around this level right here, which is at our support 1 level and all. So that's what I'm looking at this time and all. No trade recommendation, but that looks like that's going to be my support level there and all. It looks good based on what other things that I'm seeing happening here on the chart and all. You just got to wait and see. If we break below that, then we might have to get a little. This is the range that we don't want to break out of. Once we do get below that, because then we might get some free fall, maybe another 100 points or more. Who knows? We're not talking 100 points. We're talking maybe another 50 points or more. But that's it. That's all I really see here on the SPY, and that's all I really have to share. This is Right Side Trader. Hope this is being helpful for some, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you had a great week. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.